Good day, everyone. Um, the live meeting will start soon, like in less than a minute. Okay, think we're ready. Okay, if there's any problem with the sound or anything you have with the video or any issue, please fill it over so we can see to it if it's on our side. Okay, now we'll continue. Okay, so sure, we're going to be talking about the project, Bennett project, and what we're going to be doing right now, we're going to tell you the history. That's the first part, talking about the history, how it came about. As I said, yeah, where was the idea of the Bennett project? Where was it gotten from? Who did it come from? What caused the situation that led to the introduction of the Bennett coin? So all this we're gonna understand as we go on. Okay. Then, okay, a bit of history. During the reign of Constantine the Great, the Roman Empire was in a deep economic crisis, and Constantine the Great solved the problem of the economic crisis by carrying out a set of measures to reform the monetary system of the Roman Empire and introducing a new currency, which is the solid. So basically, there was a crisis that happened during Constantine's time, and it actually made the economy not to be balanced, like making it unbalanced. And Constantine, being the ruler of Constantinople at that time, he had to perfect a solution to this. He had to introduce a solution. So he introduced a new monetary system. Monetary system simply means the rate, or not the rate, the means at which money flows in a country. So how money flow in a country is called the monetary system. Different countries have their own different monetary system, although they can be working under a particular monetary system, but there's always a subdivision of differences between those countries. So basically, Constantine had an idea by changing. He had an idea to change the monetary system of Rome at that time, of Constantinople. So he changed the monetary system and introduced the new currency. And the new currency was called the solid. And as we go on, we understand why and how the solid was able to solve the problems, the economic problems of Constantinople at that time. Okay, the essence of the solid was related to its high quality and constant unchangeable weight, which made it possible to exchange these coins for any other as well as non-ferrous metals, primarily gold. In today's understanding, solid acted as a kind of gold standard. The name solid comes from the Latin word solidus, which means solid, durable, and massive. It was the strength of the solid that was the result of the fact that the solid was the main monetary unit of Rome and later of Byzantium for 700 years. So it states three main features that the solid has, which is being solid, durable, and massive. So the solid had the ability to maintain all its properties. That was like the main general features he had. Like he was able to maintain its properties. If it was this weight, a particular weight at a particular time, it's going to be that weight for a very, very long time. And with all these properties that this currency had, it was trusted by everyone, and it was able to change the economic crisis for good. It was able to make the economy to be balanced once again. And as we read on, we will also discover that not just Rome adopted this new means of monetary system. Other countries and continents adopted it. And it also says here that talking about 700 years after the Constantine's period, 700 years afterwards, people still used this monetary system because of the advantages it brought. Okay, reading on. Due to the high standard which remained almost unchanged until the fall of Constantinople, solid had a significant impact on the minting of gold coins in neighboring countries. So also other countries saw the effect of the minting of gold coins, which is a solid. Basically, solid is a gold. You must have heard of gold, so it's gold. Okay, reading on. I think there's an image. Okay, it's over here. This one over here, that's the solid coin. Read briefly about cryptocurrencies. Yeah, you must have heard of the cryptocurrency. If you have not heard of cryptocurrency, you must have heard of Bitcoin, which is like the most popular thing people usually see related to cryptocurrency. So we're going to talk about what cryptocurrency is, basically giving you some base information about it, some basic information about it. Today, although gold has a certain value, but from the point of view of modern economic theory, it is only an additional tool that ensures the stability of the economy. The reforms of Constantine the Great are a kind of prototype for the creation of modern cryptocurrencies. At the World Economic Forum in 2016, the complete displacement of paper money by cryptocurrencies was predicted. Many researchers note that this process is in some way irreversible. So basically, it's talking about the research that was taken in 2016, and this was like specifically taken by financial for people that have to do with financial research, and they were able to discover that in future, and this was taken back in 2016, they were able to discover that in future, the use of paper money will be reduced. Like the displacement of paper money will be very rampant, and this simply means that people will use the paper money less. Like they won't use it as usual. They won't use it as frequent as we are using. That's really what's happening now. Like we're going into the digital era. Like speaking financially, like we want to have transactions. We usually don't use real cash this time. Most time we can do it, but we don't use it this time. Most of the time we use our card, like our digital card or our bank card, and this just takes scanning or hitting the machine, and all of a sudden the payment has been made. And with the ease of technology and digital marketing, we're going to discover that people will move from the traditional paper money. People will move from that method and move to the new form of monetary system, which is the cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrency is basically the combination of the digital form, but not just using your country's currency as the digital currency, but it's going to be cryptocurrencies, different cryptocurrencies and different coins all together, and they all work on the digital space, or known as the virtual space. So it's also predicted that in 2016, the use of paper money will be reduced. And next, I will explain just now one of the reasons. And as we go on again, there are two other reasons why cryptocurrency will be more used in future than the way paper money is being used. Okay, cryptocurrency is strong because it does not depend much on the global economy. So basically, your economy does not really affect it. Cryptocurrency moves with a different speed from like a group. Although sometimes events in states and countries, if you are familiar with the cryptocurrency space, you'll be able to understand this. The events in states and countries can make is this statistic, like the statistical information of a particular crypto coin can be affected by the state economy. For instance, something good happen in the country. What happens? You see that it goes bullish, right? It goes bullish, and something disadvantageous happens in the country. It goes bearish. It usually happens in forex trade also. Forex trade and cryptocurrency space. So basically, they're all coming together. And when it says does not depend much, in other words, there's a part of it that actually depends, but there's a larger part of it that actually does not depend on it. The other part that depends on it, I've stated. The other part that doesn't depend on it is no individual can detect how the flow of cryptocurrency goes. That's why even when people predict, there's always a human error. There's always a part of human error, even with the drawings on the candlestick table and everything for prediction. There's always a human error because this is not totally controlled by humans. It's controlled by the blockchain and the flow of currencies, and this is what caused the currencies to move frequently. That's why it says already that it is strong. Cryptocurrency is strong because it does not depend much on the global economy. Okay, now another reason says that cryptocurrency cannot be stolen, devalued, or denominated by a state decree. So a country cannot destroy a cryptocurrency. What I mean by that, yeah, for instance, a country can ban, like, I say this cryptocurrency is not supposed to be, or cryptocurrency in full will not be made in this country. Transactions of cryptocurrency will not occur in this country. But that doesn't mean that the cryptocurrency will not work. It's just usually a prohibition. But that doesn't mean that because the person has banned it in the country, it's banned all over the world. That's not what it means. It's just a restriction to the people living in the country due to maybe the servers or the IP addresses. But when we talk about It cannot be deeply denominated by a state degree. In other words, no state particular owns the cryptocurrency space. No state. Yeah, some countries can own coins. That's the different thing. Can own coins. An individual can make a coin, but the way this project is about, that's a different situation. When we're talking about the cryptocurrency space, like the things that keep all these coins in gathering like together, this cannot be controlled by a state. So no country controls this. It's the blockchain and the algorithms that move together and make this stand as a whole strong building. Oh, this is understandable. Okay, now the last paragraph says that a modern cryptocurrency is in some way a solid that meets modern economic requirements. So the cryptocurrency is like a solid during Constantine's time, and basically the basic difference is the cryptocurrencies and the virtual space in the solid, which was used in Constantine's time. That currency is literally physical. You can literally feel it with your fingers and hands. So that's the main difference. The the similarities is they were able to solve the monetary system. They were able to boost the economy of the country. Okay, moving on. Future of cryptocurrencies. Okay, the modern world is faced with an unprecedented level of unpredictability crisis related to coronavirus infection, which continues to this day. And the pandemic will end, but the world community must inevitably solve the problems associated with the restoration of the global financial system. It says that, okay, before I go on, you must have been noticing as we read that one thing that usually causes economic crisis are usually pandemics or bad situations, or let's say natural disasters, things that are not really a good thing. When they happen in a country, they usually shake the economy of the country. And mind you, not just the economy shaking, other parts can be shaking. Like the financial aspect, but we're speaking about the financial aspect, the aspect of the agriculture, the aspect of the business aspect of the country, or the aspect that has to do with cooperation with different countries, all this can be affected. But since we're talking about the financial aspect, we're going to be focusing on this. So basically, there's usually a bad situation that happens before a country experiences instability in the economics. There's always a bad event that happens, like what happened 2019 through 2020. There was the COVID-19 outbreak, and what happened afterwards? There was increase in products, inflation, and increase in demand and prices, and everything was just not balanced. It really affected the average citizens of different countries worldwide. So basically, we can understand why economic crisis actually happen, because there's always a sign at which they have been coming through. There's always a pattern that history repeats itself. Okay, now this places in the world faces unpredicted crisis. There are many crises the world faces. We don't know. We had no idea that they would have happened. So the question is, what do we do when things like this can happen? Because we cannot prevent everything. We do not know the future. But what do we do when things like this happen? Speaking financially. So what do we do? So moving on. That brings us to the topic, the future of cryptocurrencies. It says one of the solutions to such problems is the development of the cryptocurrency market and the widespread introduction of the ability to pay with it in a variety of countries, both in cash or digital money. States cannot go take such a step, otherwise they will become disconnected from the world economy. So it's saying one way to solve this problem is introducing a new form of payment that is eradicating all formal means of payment, or probably eradicating, but giving it less power and giving more power to the cryptocurrency method of payment in the cryptocurrency market. So the cryptocurrency market is in future, because the way it sounded, it's not just going to be like just a place for coins. It's going to be a means at which you can also get products, like product to be in crypto coins. Like it's going to bring a lot of unison, because countries will have to be making transactions in crypto coins. So you're saying one of the solve this problem, is financially speaking, is to introduce the cryptocurrency market and make countries should adapt to this new form of monetary system. And if not, they will be automatically disconnected from the world economy. Not literally by an organization disconnecting them from the world economy, but automatically, because when everyone is moving with a particular fund, someone else is not moving for a particular flow with a particular flow. It simply means the person is disconnected. So that's what it simply means. Okay, reading on. If we analyze the history of Solid, we can say that this coin has long been the main one, not only in Europe but also in Asia. And its importance in many ways predetermined the development of financial systems, not only in Rome but also in other countries. I explained before that not only Rome used this the solid, other countries use this form of monetary system. Asian countries and European countries adopted it. It is the cryptocurrency that acts as an innovative tool. It can not only stop inflation but also provide an unprecedented increase in cost. You know, now this is going to be talking about like the invention of the paper money, how it came about, what no not what actually, where it started, and what was the businesses formed from it, and how was the world adopted it, information like that. Okay, 1347 in Florence. Florence is a place, I think it's a country, if I'm not mistaken. The modern financial system is a model of relationships based on trust. The history of the modern fiat money began in 1347 in Florence. I don't want to give wrong information. In Florence is in Italy. Okay. Oh, France. Okay, it says it's a city in central Italy. So basically it's in Italy. You must have heard of the country Italy. So I'm sorry, that was the wrong information. Florence is actually a city in Italy. So there was an outbreak of a plague in Italy at that time, or yes, in Florence at that time. So what happened afterwards? There was an economic imbalance, economic crisis. So they also had to reform the monetary system to give solutions, to provide solutions to the country or to the environment. So what it says, as we read it says, this was the beginning of the economic crisis, to get out of which people had to reform the monetary system and create a new type of money, which is a fiat money, from the Latin word proclamation and permission. A fiat money simply means a particular person in a country having the ability to control the amount of money printed in a particular country. Say a person can decide to say, I want this amount of let me use the popular in the dollars, let's say $100 bill. I want 10,000 copies of 100. I want 10,000 bill, $100 bill to be printed in the country. So basically, that's how the fiat business works. And you must say business. Yeah, well, there's a name here. Say same seniorage. This is the business related to fiat money. So this business of actually printing money and issuing money is called seniorage. So it's practiced all over the world right now, even with the presence of cryptocurrency. In future we will see that it's gonna fail because we're still having an economic crisis. So basically it's not extremely effective. Even if it is effective, it's not extremely effective. Okay. It was during the years of the terrible epidemic that the society agreed with the proclamation of the status of paper money as a means of payment. And the production of paper claims has turned into a business whose name is seigniorage. So now it's called a business. It's a business already now, which countries all over the world practice, issuing money to the country as a whole, and also having a part taken as a senior. Yeah, you can say a part taken. There's an income taken from it. Okay, now this definition is supposed to give you an example of an understanding of what it means, what the seniorage really means. A seniorage is the income received by the issuer of money on the right of ownership. So there's an income the one issuing the money is taking. There's an income he's getting for actually giving the money out. So I explained that before. In the seniorage business consisted of writing coins on the customer's materials, whereas payment for the work performed, the senior kept part of the material for himself. Centuries later, the spiral of history is making a new tone, and once again, the world is facing an epidemic that has caused a global crisis of confidence in the established institutions of power and financial institutions over the centuries. That brings us to the topic: what is Bennett? When it comes to economics, it is necessary to turn to the experience of our ancestors without repeating their mistakes and taking as a basis. Okay, I'm taking as a basis the best that our predecessors are. It is for this reason that we want to remember the legacy of Constantine the Great and present the Bennett Project. Bennett, abbreviated from the word benediction, is a project to revive in the virtual space the equivalent of the gold solid, which has become a prototype of modern reserve cryptocurrencies. Okay, good. Which has become a prototype of mono reserve currencies used worldwide as a benchmark for the value of the family. So, simply tell you how the Bennett coin has links with all this monetary system which have been listed. We're not just listing this monetary system so you can see information. We're listing them to tell you, to give you the background information about them and tell you how Bennett is connected to all this. It says the way that the benchmark of 5 months. So it has the benchmark of a family, and it also says project is to revive the virtual space equivalent to the good solid. So how the good solid was in Constantine's time is the same equivalent of how the Bennett is in our time. But the only difference is, like I said, one is virtual, one is physical. When I mean virtual, like a software method, and the other one is like the hardware method. Okay. Benediction simply means like advantage or profit, what you gain from a particular thing. Bennett is a peer-to-peer network with its own blockchain. Blockchain is used to store data, the format of which allows you to securely store recorded information about any event created in a cryptographic application. Bennett is a decentralized cryptocurrency with an environmentally friendly mining method for each owner. The consensus of the decentralized network and the integrity of the blockchain are achieved thanks to advanced developments. Now, a little bit about the blockchain. What is the blockchain exactly? And you might know about the blockchain, but I'll give you a very simple example like I usually give. The word says blockchain is they're simply blocks which are connected to each other. And these blocks aren't just blocks, they are blocks that are set to perform certain tasks, keep information, run tests on the blockchain to keep them safe, keeping the whole software decentralized. And they all run software constantly. And it is called a chain because all these blocks are connected to each other. Why are they connected to each other? For decentralization's sake, for security and privacy's sake. So when one information, for instance, in a device is gone, that doesn't mean the information is gone. So when a device that owns an information is gone, that doesn't mean the information is gone because the device wasn't just staying alone, there were other devices connecting with it. Not that the device has the access to it, but you as the owner of the information has the access to it. So no one can access your information. But the fact that it's connected to each other on the blockchain simply means your information is decentralized. It means it's safe and kept private. So that's the basic definition of what a blockchain is. Now reading the as it goes here. Okay, a little bit about blockchain. As with other cryptocurrencies, the dependent database is built and stored in a linked series of blocks known as the blockchain. The advanced algorithm, proof-of-timestake, and impeccable implementation of the age of coin concept is resistant to all possible attacks on the blockchain in order to falsify transactions and generate new blocks. In the proof-of-timestake model used by Bennett, network security is regulated by nodes that have a share of coins in the network. The Bennett network has remained decentralized since its inception, and as the number of users grows, it becomes more and more decentralized. Bennett uses an eco-friendly mining system in which each coin is a virtual mining farm with a differentiated generation rate depending on whether the account provides generation of new blocks in the blockchain or not, in the blockchain chain or not. Okay, now Bennett network nodes. Bennett network nodes do not issue coins as a result of creating blocks, but only determine the rate of generation of new coins for accounts involved in maintaining the operation of the decentralized network, for which they receive commissions for transactions recorded in the blocks they created. A Bennett network node is any device that contributes a transaction or block data to the network. Any device with Bennett software is treated as a node. So if your phone, your PC, if your TV has the Bennett software operated, it's a node. So, and yeah, it says the point says that in the proof-of-timestake model used by Bennett, network security is regulated by nodes that have a share of coins in the network. So basically, like I explained before, you're also contributing to the security. That's why even if your device gets lost, like we usually use phones, like using phones as an example. So let's say you are running the Bennett software, for instance, you misplace your device. You can actually retrieve your information and probably change some information for safety's sake. You can retrieve your information with the help of the Bennett platform, the proof-of-timestake model. And why is this safe? Because you're not the only node connected to the Bennett blockchain, keeping it safe. There are other nodes connected to it. So basically, all this information are traveling and are kept all together in the chain safely. You know, 10th page. Okay, how does it work? Talking about the forms of mining in Bennett. Like I'll just read this one because I've been explaining them. Eco-friendly mining of Bennett is performed in two states, soft mining and hard mining. Okay, I'll just give you an example, I'm sorry, an explanation on it. Okay, eco-friendly mining of Bennett is performed in two states, which is the soft mining and the hard mining. The soft mining is a software method for generating new coins with an account balance available to each coin holder using a private access key. Private access key is some information you as the wallet owner should have and keep safe. Something that gives you access to the wallet. And it says that it's a method for generating new coins. So one thing that happens in this Bennett software is there's the opportunity to mine coins. Like you can have a particular, you can have like 30,000 Bennett coins, and you can come back like in 2 hours and discover you're having 30,000 Bennett coins point some other fractions after it. This is as a result of mining. So basically, your accounts are actually increasing amount, and this is done by the software method. So the software method of soft mining method of mining Bennett coins. So it says over there. So it's a method for generating new coins. Now, what's the hardware mining? This is a software and hardware method of mining coins using specialized equipment that stores an up-to-date copy of the blockchain and is synchronized with the general network to participate in the generation of new blocks. So it's basically the software method and the hardware method. The hardware is simply machines set apart to store recorded information of the blockchain, keeping up-to-date information of them, and also having the effects to do with your wallet at the same time. Now, what's better than eco-friendly mining? This is a perfect patent-protected tool for promotion and popularization, allowing you to establish links with blockchain fixation according to the principles of multi-level marketing. It was created on the basis of time-tested technologies in businesses developing on the basis of network structure and other cryptocurrencies. The main advantage of eco-friendly mining is reliable protection against interference in the mining mechanism and its absolute transparency. All users can track the number of coins mined in real time. Okay, now next page. If I go on checking in this comments, so to give answers to it. Okay, now talking about what is this Bennett platform for, what kind of Bennett coins do, and things like that. Why you mining the coin, and if you're mining the coin, what are you going to use it for? Because the classic knowledge of cryptocurrencies or crypto coins are usually that we know that we can use it for exchanging other coins to gain profits when they increase in price and buy when they reduce in price. That's just the main concept. But this is not just about that. This coin can do a lot more than transactions alone. It can also keep information. So that's what we want to talk. That's what we want to talk about here. Okay. We understand the importance of decentralized database, which are usually called blockchain, and we had an idea. We try to combine the reliability and security of the classic cryptocurrency, as well as the advantages of hash functions, the use of which is in demand in various phases of human life, for which we created the Bennett Hash crypto application. So I usually tell you that it's a part of the blockchain that keeps information. This part is called hash, and it's known as a hash function. Okay, now Bennett has implemented this now. It spells HASH function. Bennett Hash is a decentralized platform for storing important or interesting events taking place in people's lives. Bennett Hash is a native application that allows you to assign any event, incident, state with accurate time recording and hashtag of the event. All events are stored in a cryptographically protected blockchain database running in a peer-to-peer network and JVM environment. Bennett coins are used as fuel to put Bennett hash files in the blockchain. So for your Bennett hash platform to work, you have to have Bennett coins. So for you to activate the Bennett hash platform, you have to use the Bennett coins a particular amount. You have to use to like activate it. I think that's easy to understand. I hope. Okay, we have implemented an environmentally friendly way of mining coins and burning coins efficiently. To upload coins, the user burns coins in a proportion of 10 Bennett coins for 1 KB of information recorded in a block limited to 2 MB. So basically, the information are kept in a block. And like I explained in blockchain before, so all these blocks, they have their ability. Okay, so each of those blocks has the ability to contain a maximum of 2 MB of information. If you are familiar with space universe, you will know that the smallest is the KB, followed by the MB. KB is the kilobyte, followed by the MB, which is megabyte, GB, which is gigabyte, and TB, which is terabyte. And kilobyte is like the smallest. In the same way that is 10 Bennett coins equivalent to 1 KB of information. So that's 10 KB of information. So what happens? We know that 10,000, or if you do not know, sorry, we know there's a unit that says 1000 KB is equal to 1 MB. And remember that first I'm going to keep a picture, and the picture is 1 MB. So how do we convert? We multiply 10 Bennett. We say 10 Bennett multiply 1000 KB, which will be 10,000 Bennett. So we're going to use 10,000 Bennett to buy a space of 1 MB. So 1 MB of information will be kept on the blockchain of this Bennett dash. So this is just a conversion and how it works. And basically, there will be an opportunity for you to just put whatever space you want to keep, and it gives you an equivalent of how much to pay. So that will be done first. Now I'll tell you scope of application, how it can be used. And by the way, it's not out yet, it's going to be out in 2024, as it says here. Okay, blockchain solution, Bennett Hash. Bennett Hash is the world's first public blockchain repository, the use of which is required in many areas of the real economy. Scope of application. Already in 2024, which is 2 years from now, we will release an application for free access, which we will be able to use notaries for duplicating registers with signatures of participants. That's for everything that has to do with registration. The information can be kept on the Bennett Hash. Highway administration for photographing accidents with instant uploading of incident photos to the blockchain. Any event, it doesn't have to be car hitting each other or bikes hitting a person. Any event on the road at all can be uploaded to the blockchain for safety reasons and also for future reasons. Lawyers for signing a contract with possibility of publicly requesting data from the Bennett blockchain. So also law related information can actually work with the blockchain of Bennett Hash. You can actually work with the Bennett Hash platform. So now there's two main ones that are mainly talked about: the Bennett Auto and the Bennett 6. The Bennett 6 is simply a means to keep information between two partners. And you might say, why is this important? This can actually help them in future in a situation of harassment, or let's say allegations. And let's say someone says, as we usually hear in the newsroom, men are actually accused of doing something, or actually harassing a woman at a particular time in his life. And most times they can be true, most times they can be false, but we can't just know by looking at the person's face. So we need information and evidence, and this businesses will be able to help, because if a man and woman is in a relationship, for instance, they always come together and make a Bennett sex account. Their information are kept there. There will be no means a person that's an outsider, and when the two partners don't know about it, there will be no means that the outsider will be able to find a way to actually disrupt the union which they have. And if it actually happens, it can be that it's one of the partners that it's at fault. So basically, this will always help. This will, like 99%, give up to people that actually face allegations. Okay, obviously, so now the Bennett also talking about first crypto app to protect the right of car ownership. Car owners, raisers, sellers, and buyers. So anything that has to do with vehicles, the information can be kept on the Bennett Hash. So a person did a race for this particular time, it can be kept on the information of the race can be kept. The car owner buying the car and the documents can be kept also. So basically, it works. Now the word clinical event. This simply is very easy to understand, so I'll just read it through. But the most important application of our technology is something that is not yet close to the market. the word clinical event. It's called the word clinical event because it's different to other businesses like companies that usually work with. Because some company has some they have a particular place of the world they can actually flourish, or like the other part of the country because there's always something known as the business weather. The weather of the country is different from of the country is different from another country because there are things that the citizens of your country like and these other countries do not. And if someone is to bring something like that, there's every possibility no one will patronize or less people will patronize because it's not something they do like. It's not something they're attracted to. But this benefit is different because it's going to bring profit and benefit to everyone, benediction. So basically, it's a word clinical event that everyone writes. That's why I say it's something that is not yet close to the market. You hardly see a business that does this. So reading on, this is a chronicle written by people who speak different languages, profess different religions, and live in different parts of the globe. After all, the most important thing is remembering the past. The past is the beginning of the whole present. The future is impossible without the past. With our application, you will have the opportunity to upload events important to your family to the data warehouse, be it photos, videos, or documents. And thus, in 100 or 200 years, your descendants will easily be able to learn everything about you, see what you were, and therefore remember you always, in fact, giving you immortality. After all, when a person is remembered, is immortal. When a person is remembered, he is immortal. This is the beauty of the blockchain. The events will not disappear anywhere because they are stored on a million devices around the world. This way, you definitely leave your mark on the world connected. With the help of Benedash, the past, present, and future of you and your family has existed, exists, and will always exist. Now, how can you get it? Well, you can get it in Google Play Store for 100 users. Right now, there's no iOS version for it, which is the Apple or the iPhone version for it. So right now, there isn't. And you can go to Bennett one. Okay, it starts with an uppercase B and spelled BENED underscore but and yeah it starts with an at sign the Bennett one underscore but and just with the environment it renders you to the corresponding application, and if you do not it renders you to download it. So yeah, keep on more information here states that the maximum number of coins that can be mined in one section does not exceed 10,000 Bennett, and upon reaching 100,000 Bennett the account stops mining until its balance decreases. Further, I'll read this part saying, talking about emission. Uh, the Bennett cryptocurrency implements the function of increasing the base rate of coin mining for miners who support the performance we pay to Bennett. For wallets whose balance are used to perform transactions made on the network, the base rate of coin mining is 1% per day, regardless of the balance. Such mining parameters are applied and valid for 30 blocks from the moment of generation of the block accepted by the network. At the same time, mining acceleration coefficients with wallets affiliated with them are also required to sort wallets. Okay, now this first the basic speed of eco-friendly soft mining without a complicated coefficient, the amount of coins in the wallet, for instance, and the percentage of okay, this is basically an estimation. Okay, now the percentage of mining coins in 24 hours without a complicated coefficient. Why I say it's an estimation is like saying your account is definitely in between these numbers. That's what I mean by estimation. I didn't say these numbers rating your estimations. That's what I mean. I mean, like you can have, it says that if you have from 10,000 Bennett to 100,000 Bennett, so basically you can have 30,000 Bennett. So it's an estimation. Okay, now, for instance, number one, the first part actually says if you have less than one coin, if you have less than one Bennett coin, you'll be mining at 1% rate. So that's pretty slow, to be honest, but it moves. It means your account is actually mining and increasing in amount gradually. And if you have from 1 to 10,000, you'll be mining at 0.25. If you have from 10,000 to 100,000, you'll be mining at 0.5. Remember that the information I taught, which says that the maximum number of coins that can be mined in one section does not exceed 10,000 Bennett, and upon reaching 100,000 Bennett, the account stops mining until the balance decreases. So this happens because to avoid inflation. And what do you do to solve these problems? You can't just be expecting coins to go back to zero or decrease. So the coefficient of acceleration of coin mining from affiliated wallet in 10 generations. What are affiliated wallet or affiliated accounts? These are wallets that got their first payment coins from the previous wallet. What I mean by this is, first you made the first wallet, then you made a second wallet. The first amount of dollar you send to your second wallet will be from the first wallet. And this goes on to your 10th wallet, so this 10th generation. So your 10th wallet got the first Bennett wallet, got the first Bennett coin from the ninth wallet. And basically, you can say where did the first wallet actually get its from. So it can be from airdrops, it can be from someone sending it to you. So basically, it happens many ways. But the rest 10, the rest from 2 to 10 should get their points from each other, making it from the previous ones actually to make them affiliated, connected together. So this one way to solve the problem, or no, not the problem actually, the function of your coin actually reducing. So what happens is if you like transfer this coin into each other and you have the amount of 100,000 to a million Bennett coin, you be mining at 0.5 multiplied by 1.2. The answer it gives you, that's the amount you be mining at, and it goes all the way to 2. So if you have over 100 million Bennett, you be mining at 0.5 multiplied by 2, which I think then I think it's that 0.9. But that mine is a particular fast. I think this is literally the fastest. I told you last time that it's usually the most like a stopwatch. If you know what a stopwatch is, it's usually for. Okay, I think it mines at 1%. Wow. Wait, what? Let me give this 0.01. I was quite worried. 0.01. So it actually increases. The more it's being used, the more the more your affiliated wallet increase in amount, the more it affects your amount in general. So it increases with speed. Okay, now roadmaps. You must say why I skip this, but this is talking about if you have this amount, which I've been explaining here. So basically, it says if you have 85,000 for instance, your wallet. I remember I told you that 85,000 is under the range of 10,000 to 100,000. So it says that for instance, you have 85,000 in your account. In a day, you will mine 424 Bennett coins, which will be added to your account. And in a month, you mine 12,750. So just telling you what will happen if you have this amount. So those goes on. That goes on. And now the roadmaps of things that has happened. Okay, now read it. The development of our project is strictly. Okay, the development of our project is carried out strictly by the roadmap, Bennett roadmap. To date, the following tasks have been completed. Number one, the blockchain on 19th of December 2021 was launched on 19th of December 2021, which was last year. And number two, we have started to responsibly implement the memorandum described in the autonomy section of our paper. Number three, our wallet for Android devices has already been developed and published on the Android Play Store or the Google Play Store. Number four, on July 7, 2022, the exchange trading in Bennett cryptocurrency began on the exchange xt.com. Number five, in the very near future, a wallet will appear in the App Store. Number six, on August 15, 2022, a grand event took place. The company Soldo Constant LTD has completed the purchase and merger of the company BLP Limited. The company BLP Limited is a pioneer in the field of software development and data processing as well as other activities in the field of information technology. Now, the Bennett philosophy. We're approaching the end of the lecture, so please, if you still have questions, it's the right time to ask them. Okay, now reading on. Bennett is not only cryptocurrency, it's also a philosophy and not everyone likes it. A real cryptocurrency cannot have a declared value, so Bennett is worth nothing. The main advantage of our project is its absolute openness and transparency for users, which is confirmed by the history of its transactions. Each wallet owner is an issuer, respectively. The more people use it, the more reliable and durable the project is. Currently, we are making every effort to make our project interesting in various countries of the world. We hope that our concept of synonym, which we later will use to upload events to Bennett, that will be of interest to many. In order to become an ambassador, you go to the Bennett site, Bennett.cc, and on the menu bar, go to the ambassadors tab. You can put your information there and be an ambassador of your country. The Bennett platform. Now, a point says perhaps the most important plus of our Bennett Ash platform is that there's no censorship here. There's only the truth. You will not be able to delete or retouch a photo or events. You will not be able to change the document that you upload. And that's fine. It will allow you to remain real, natural, and sincere. Sincerity has magnetism and it's always felt by people. Sincere interest is always rewarded. A smile will always be answered. Sincerity allows you to feel love at full capacity allows you to show natural individuality and make people close in spirit. Together we are always stronger, join us and may the blessings of Constantine the Great come with us. Now the thing and the first person in the team is the founder or the CEO of the Bennett product. His name is Boris Bartlov, and he says it seems to me that we've come up with something that is not yet close to the market. We've come up with, let's call it, for example, the World Chronicle events. This is the chronicle written by people who speak different languages, profess different religions, and live in different parts of the globe. Now, the other part of the team is Igor Grishanov, which is the lead manager, and Dmitry Sokolov is the founder of Soldo Constant LTD. Okay, contact. You can this is the address and this is the phone number. This is to get information about Benin, which is info@benin.cc, and the site is benin.cc. Now, the conclusion of the benediction of this file or this presentation says, nothing can stop us anymore because the brand is not important, words are not important, companies are not important. Only one thing is important, which is unification. The more of us, the stronger we are, and we are together, and the blessing of Constantine is with us. Thank you. That brings us to the end of this presentation. So if you have any questions, that'll be the best time to ask me. While we wait. Okay, with the absence of no questions, we're saying good night to everyone. Have a good night rest. I hope to see you next time on the same channel. Please share the links to people, like and comment and subscribe, and stay safe.